And under industrial economics, today we are studying about the industrial sickness. See, sickness of industrial units like sickness of uh, much more in continuation of the business from the which is apart from the production line. It can be said the phenomenon of industrial sickness not only turns to be a problem of unemployment, but also it is uh, it can be said that it is the uh, wastage of capital investment when all things are not going on uh, in a uh, continuation manner. So, industrial sickness means the condition of industrial unit wherein it becomes incapable of paying its liabilities of wages to the laborers, interest on loan, payment of purchase, and statutory liabilities such as contribution to employees, provident fund, payment of sale tax, excise duty. It means basically we can say that what the industrial sickness is when industry felt sick, it means that industry is not able to perform its production work in any manner, whatever the type of production process is done in the industry. It has many more reasons for the industrial sickness, and much more explanations by various economists have been done for the explanation of industrial sickness. It can also be said that the Reserve Bank of India has also given a view on industrial sickness, that any unit will be known as sick industry when it has suffered cash loss in a particular year. Further, there are clear indication of cash losses even in next 2 years. So it means that industry is not able to generate revenue for many more reasons. It may be of various reasons may be happened here for non-productive work of the industry. Industrial units can be classified sick when it shows that various of its characteristics like non-payment of statutory liabilities like PF, ESI contribution, non-payment of principal amount and interest on date of maturity to financial institution, non-payment of public deposits in time, unnecessary increase in stock, inadequate utilization of production capacity, rejection of manufactured good. It means goods are not as up to the mark of the consumer, and goods are not able to fulfill consumer requirement. That is why the goods of the respective industries are being rejected by the consumers. So these are the basically characteristics which are related to industrial sickness. And when we are just talking about the Indian perspective and industrial sickness in India, the problem of industrial sickness has been getting complicated more than last 20 years here, when this problem is almost industries including some prominent industries like technical, chemical, cement, jute, sugar, rubber, and cotton textile industry also facing a problem of industrial sickness. And as you know very well about in Kanpur that there are various units of JK also feeling such industrial sickness due to many reasons, as we know that non-cooperation of the workers due to various financial lackness of financial resources. So these are, and as well as the the suitable infrastructure facility, and sometimes political issues also a major cause of uh, industrial sickness here, because as we can say that when government take a suitable action against upliftment of such sick unit, sick industry, then it would be very easy for the owners of or top members of such industry to uplift and to rehabilitate such industry in a proper manner. So, apart from this, we also observe the causes of various causes of industrial sickness. So, one by one, we will study about it. Causes of industrial sickness. So, as we focus on the causes of industrial sickness, we observe the basically two causes here: internal causes as well as external causes. So, when we first study about the internal causes, we observe that there are various internal causes available here for industrial sickness. So these are the lack of managerial efficiency. When there are, we also observe that when we observe the lackness of managerial efficiency, it means that we found the managerial managerial efficiencies are not up to the mark. They are not much more efficient to handle the all causes. Unnecessary uh, declaration of dividend, sometimes as to maintain their name and market position, industry also declare the dividends, but sometimes it is not necessary because the company is not able to get much more profit. Then after, in spite of that, industry declare the dividend. Industry does such type of things because industry has to maintain its name, maintain its you can say market position. When the industry has its, because when the industry had its market position, then anyone is able to invest in the industry, invest in the share of the industry. That is why industry took such type of steps for declaring the unnecessary dividend. We also observe that lack of adequate funds which are not available for industry for investment, improper use of fund, and excess of overheads. When the income is less and overheads is much more when we compare it to return. Defective depreciation policy, because as we know depreciation is also a source. When we get some amount of depreciation, we money from depreciation cost, and it, and we also observe that sometimes these depreciation money is just invested again for purchasing of new machinery, because let's say the cost of depreciation for old machinery is 30,000 rupees and purchase of new machinery is 1 lakh, so we have to save rupees 30,000 for investing on new machinery, because when we are going to invest on new machinery, our efficiency, our accuracy, our quality of work would also be increased. With this, our when our depreciation cost is also included in that, then it will reduce the total cost of market price uh, in exchange, when we exchange the product. So it is when we not able to uh, apply the effective depreciation policy, then we suffer such type of problem. And we also observe the lack of the harmonious relationship between labor and capital. As we know that labor and capital is the variable factor of production, and we have to generate a harmonious relationship between labor and capital. Sometimes labor is required more, labor is less, and sometimes labors are required more than capital. So as per the situation, we have to apply such type of resources as a factor of production. And errors in forecasting. See, we have to apply very much many more techniques which are related to forecasting. Let's say as we know about the demand forecasting, when we apply many more techniques like Salesforce composite method, opinion survey method, as you know, expert opinion method, Delphi method. There are many more methods for demand forecasting. But at that situation, see, sometimes we observe that our what we have forecasted, and when we reach on the ground level, when the things happens, then we observe that our forecasting is just not 100% at that particular situation. So when there is a wrong forecasting, we have to face many more loss there, because let's say if we have forecasted that in Diwali sales we will sold 2000 units of the product, and but the we are not able to produce such type of product, and the sales demand at that time is 2500 or 3000 units, and at that time we are not able to uh, produce such product, such quantity of product which is up to the mark, which is not up to the mark of the consumer's demand. So we at that time we are not able to fulfill completely the consumer demand at that respective time, because we have forecasted wrong at that situation, which is less than the existing demand. So these are the basically internal causes, because when the uh, consumers observe that this company is not fulfilling our demand, so the customers switch over to another company. So here, when there are many more factors by which the demand of the such industry or firm which reduced at that time, and the consumer is switch over to another company. So there are many more internal causes which are related to the industrial sickness. Okay. So when the next one is external causes. What are the external causes of industrial sickness? Here we talk about the government policy which affects the production and distribution of the industry. Sometimes uh, the industry which is just uh, much more demanded by the government, because government draw attention to the demand of that product which is more suitable as per the government for the city for the citizen of that country. So that industry is much more demanded, and here the government policy is just supports that industry very well. So here the industry growth rates increase, and sometimes such industries are not much more supported and not feels crucial by the authorities. So it is just observed that there are much more reasons by this. We can say that uh, government does not pay attention uh, for such industry. So here policy matters when the which type of industry is much more demanded and which not. Like say we observe that some type of products government also provides subsidies for so that the citizens of that country are able to find such to purchase such type of goods in very low price, because subsidies are provided for them. Like as you know, in the solar panel induction, so we have observed that such type of subsidies are earlier provided by the government, but now what the policies of the government is nowadays. Alternative of it, let's say, attention in the investment structure which are made for the success of planning, lack of raw material to be used in the production process. So sometimes when we the industry is not able to much more get the raw material, which has become very expensive outside, so it impacts the production process. Change in the industrial relation are also external causes of industrial sickness. So, what are the consequences? It means impact of industrial sickness. So, here decrease in the liquid funds when in the industrial sickness results in the lack of uh, liquid funds in inadequate quantity of the industrial unit, due to which it becomes incapable for paying wages, loan, interest on capital, and payment of raw material purchase. It also observed that unnecessary storage of manufactured goods. uh, Industrial sickness also results in the failure of industrial undertaking on selling of its manufactured goods at determined price, and consequently unnecessary storage of manufactured goods. It also impacts the industrial sickness. Decrease in the financial ratios when the industrial sickness results in the decrease of financial resources, and consequently debt equity ratio begins to fall, because as we know that debt includes the where we have to pay the interest, and equity is the form of uh, form of shares. So here there should be a right ratio between the debt and equity. Apart from this, we also measure to check industrial sickness. So what are those measures to check the industrial sickness? When the persons responsible for creating the situation of industrial sickness should be strictly observed, and if there are any possibilities of any industry for being captured by sickness, efforts should be made by the government to improve its conditions, and giving instruction if it becomes necessary. If there is a need, so sufficient arrangement should be made for the development of industrial undertaking, and new planning should be made with regard to any sick unit. So here, government should take the effective steps regard to industrial sick unit. So what are those steps which are just taken by the government regarding industrial sick unit? So if such steps should be taken, then the industry can able to improve itself and restart their production and able to generate revenue. So what we are studying about the government policy regarding industrial sickness. Policy regarding industrial sick unit. Okay. So here there are many more time to time steps taken by the government, and various politicians have framed the government uh, from time to time to abolish the problem of industrial sickness, and these policies are helpful for uh, understanding the government steps for industrial sick unit. So one by one we study about those steps where the government taken into consideration. So the first one we can say, which is the acquisition of sick industrial unit, and many laws and acts have been made for industrial sick unit with the provisions of Industrial Development and Regulation Act, and the government has not taken over management of 80 sick unit from 1967 to 1982, and then uh, the central government, state government orders were made to shut down such industrial units. So here, government felt the acquisition of management of sick industrial unit to sort out such problems. Here, organizations of committees, when the large number of organizations have been set up by the government to handle the problem of industrial sickness, and several committees were made for this, like Tandon Committee, Ghosh Committee, High Power Committee. These are the committees have been made for the re-establishment of industrial sick unit. Establishment of Board for Industrial and Financial Reconstruction, which can be made by the Sick Industrial Companies Act in 1985, and this act provision has been made to establish the Board of Industrial and Financial Reconstruction in the form of judicial body for the effective solution of problems of industrial sick unit. Okay. So here many more steps have been taken by the government to rehabilitate, to reconstruct the industrial unit which are sick, and by some act, it also it has been easy for the government to take the steps, not only in the form of providing capital, funds, but also for providing many more facilities to improve and reconstruct the sick industry. Okay, so this is all about the industrial sickness here, where we studied about uh, the basic cause, factors, and the current scenario related to industrial sickness. Okay, now we are going to understand about the next topic, which is joint sector. Available here, joint sector. See, uh, what we know about the concept of joint sector. See, joint sector originated after the nationalization of uh, air transportation in 1953, when both the government and Tata had participated in its management, and industrial policy of 1956 is too important for the joint sector was indirectly accepted it, and it was clearly mentioned in this policy that the division of industry into various categories do not mean that they are separate from each other, but coordination will be required to establish between the industries of private and public sector. So it can be said that the joint sector is basically the coordination of public and private sector. Here, Dell Committee gave the great importance to the concept of joint sector and recommended the government that joint sector should be established in the country for checking the concentration of economic power and prohibiting the misuses of license issue. So here, what's the basically rationale of the concept of joint sector? So here, in the first industrial policy announced by the government, the clear division of the industry of public and private sector was made, and it was stated that in the policy that in the case of failure of any private industry, takeover of that industry will be made by the government. Yet today it has the importance is given to the partnership of government and private sector, which is clear from such order. So, what are the basically rationale here? Which unsatisfactory progress of public sector when while announcing the industrial policy of the government in India has always shown that establishing the socialist society, and in this regard the government had a great importance to establishment, development and expansion of the public sector, but practically this sector could not rest success, and in this situation the coordination between public and private sector took place. So when basically the government felt that the public sector is not doing well with full efficiency, then at that situation private sector has uh, also should be coordinated with the public sector. So here there is a born of joint sector here, and it also uh, taken into consideration for the establishment of socialist control on industries, where the Dole Committee recommended the joint sector for making social control over industries, and it presented the, the four views regarding this. What it is: the government, industrial, and license policies and public financial institutions are responsible for the concentration of economic power of the country, and it will not be practical for the government to make the demand of loan than to the private sector. Government should participate in the ownership and management of the industries mentioned in the category of Industrial Policy 1956. So here, for preventing the concentration of economic power, the government stated the industrial and licensing policy for the balanced development of the country. For mobility of the capital of private sector, it is observed at various times the government has declared the industrial and licensing policy, and but we also observe that in these directions the government has not made clear the nationalized policy at that time. So the government in this regard to the industry created the uncertainty in private sector, and by this the private capital uh, becomes in a situation to work with this public sector. So here the control on the demerits of the public sector, because after the establishment of joint sector it can be expected that the economic concentration in the private hands, monopoly tendencies, undue profits can be checked through entering into joint sector. And as we know that it shows a coordination between the public and private sector. So apart from this rationale, positivity, merits, we also observe some problems which exist in joint sector and their solution. So first one, which is the capital structure. See, the main problem of joint sector is their capital structure, because the determination of the proportion of which the capital for this sector has to be taken from the government and private sector. In this regard, it was made certain that the share in the capital of joint enterprise is 26%, and then after the government changes to remaining 49%. So here the participation of share of private sector matters here, and government makes policies regarding the participation of share from the joint sector. Let's say first it was 26%, and then after it was 49% in current scenario. See, by this motivation to the private sector under joint enterprise, the main problem is motivation for private sector is only 25%, and there is a reason. By this, these units cannot contribute perfectly because they happen to be uncertain about the fact that how much profit they will earn. In a pattern of management in under joint sector is also a problem of managerial form, which is in this regard the ratio of public and private sector in board of director, and in this regard the suggestion can be given that the ratio of directors of various partners should be with proportion of their capital. It means that whatever the proportion the joints and the public sector and private sector share has been invested to make the joint sector, So in that proportion, the director, board of director is just dependent on the portion of their share. And in joint enterprise, when private sector is included on the basis of the managerial capability, but practically this would not be proper to give over significance to private sector in management. And the success of joint sector depends on the fact of day-to-day working, which is in accent, and it is the independent in the management and control of joint sector. Contribution of central and state government. Here the joint sector government should not make it is clear that joint enterprise will work under the co-ownership of central government or state government. See, in this regard, this suggestion can be given that the central government should participate only in big and important enterprise, whereas the general units in which the investment is less than 5 crore, means there is a criteria of investment, that if the investment is more than 5 crore, then the central government has to participate it, and if it is less than state government. And when we talk about the current situation, present position of the joint sector in India, so in present times many joint enterprise are working in a country, and among these there are Oil India, Cochin Refinery, Gujarat Fertilizer, Madras Refinery, Madras Fertilizer are the major joint enterprise in India. And in the few years, central government has issued many of the licenses to state government for establishing the units of joint sector. So here, what are the government policies regarding joint sector? So in industrial licensing policy of 1970, the government has accepted the joint enterprise, and later it is on 1973 the industrial policy emphasis was given on joint enterprise, and the attitude of the government policy in respect to the joint enterprise was it was clear that the units of the joint enterprise will have to work according to the social and economic objective determined by the government. And the government will not give approval regarding the establishment of the joint enterprise of such industries which are restricted for private sector in the present industrial policies. The government will keep its effective place in joint enterprise so that the policies of enterprise may be determined with a view to maximum social welfare. The central government has made the various policies in respect to joint enterprise to be established with the help of state government, state development corporation, and public and private industrialists. So these are the approval of the central government will be required when the joint enterprise relates it to any big industrial house or foreign company. And if the unit is established with the foreign contribution, then 25% of its share capital taken by the state government or by the state development corporation, and next 20% is taken by the Indian private companies, and 20% by the foreign investors, and balance 30% is just taken by the general public. And if unit is established under domestic collaboration, then 26% of its share capital will be purchased by the state government or industrial development corporation, and 25% will be purchased by the private sector, and remaining 49% will be purchased by the general public and financial institution. And the government has made it clear that no permission shall be given to either of the partners of the joint sector to take more than 25% of the paid up capital unless and until the central government does not give permission in this regard. So by this there are various suggestions to make joint sector successful. So it can be said that the joint sector, the chairman of All Indian Management Council has presented various suggestions for successful of joint sector, which are: the central government should establish a small institution which could provide assistance to fulfillment of the need of this joint sector, and for the success of joint enterprise it is necessary that it should follow the accounting concept as per the international standard, because we are just residing here today in international market. When we are just know about all international products after globalization on e-commerce, we are able to just observe the quality, standards, price of global product also. That is why it is our requirement that we also have to maintain and upgrade ourselves as per the global demand, and it is necessary to set the target rate of return keeping a view of necessary reserve. And from the socialist point of view, the majority of the representative of financial institution in the government is necessary to be in board of director of joint enterprise, so that the suggestion should be given for to such joint sector to make a proper and systematic way of process of not only in the area of product producing but also the establishment, upliftment taken up from new technology, producing qualitative products. So such type of strategies can be applied in also in joint sector. And for the success of joint enterprise, it is necessary that it should be appropriate. It should be taken into consideration in appropriate manner. So these are the basically suggestions which are related to the successfulness of joint sector. So here we study about the two topics here. First, which was the industrial sickness, and the joint sector. Industrial sickness is related to what are the necessary conditions of industrial sickness and how we can rehabilitate this industrial sickness by various measures, by applying of various measures, various techniques by the government as well as by the industrial unit. And now, apart from that, here we study about the joint sector, why it is established, what is the motive for its establishment, and what are the positive and negative aspects which are related to the joint sector, and how it can be made more successfully, and what are the suggestions which are related to the joint sector. So, okay.